Hello guys, and welcome to another tutorial about Sencha Architect. In this tutorial, we will be building an actual application. So let's start with showing the application we will be building. In our company, we started playing chess. After the lunch, in the lunch break, we started playing the chess, and we need the application to track our progress, to track our games. So we quickly came up with the quick application. Which we built with Sencha Architect and ext to track our games and our progress and our rating. So this is the application. It has a simple grid with the players. There are some statistics about win, loses, and such. We have a grid with the actual games, and we have some charts with some rating. We can look at the current ratings and actual games, and also we have the grid where it's each player against each other, and you can simply add a new game. You can select the players and select the outcome, and it will be added. The application is also behaved differently on different browsers. So this is on desktop. If we would set up an iPad or a tablet, we can see that the application is different. There is the games and the form for adding a new game. And if you go to the mobile view, you can see, and you refresh, you can see that the form looks differently, because there are some platform config which modifies the application to fit the screen perfectly. Okay, so let's start. The application is available on my GitHub. You can go there and get it from there. The link will be in the description. And yeah, there is this application we will be building will not be the very same I'm showing you right now, but we will build it from scratch. And it might look a little bit differently. So yeah, let's start with the backend. So backend for this application is written in Node.js. We will not be talking about the backend, how it's written, but let's say it's written to compute the games, to store them, to calculate the Elo rating and such. So when you clone the repository, you can go to the backend folder. You will just write npm install, and then you can simply start up the Node.js backend. So node main.js, and the backend is listening on port 8181. So let's go there. Localhost 8181, and let's see what the actual backend provides to us. So let's go to the players. We can see that the backend is providing us players, some information, and also we can go to the games and see the actual games, the data. So these are our sources of data from this backend. Okay, let's start up Sencha Architect. So I'm using Sencha Architect for .2, and yeah, let's start new project. Okay, first we have to decide if we will go with the modern or with the classic toolkit. If you don't know the differences, the classic toolkit is aimed mostly for the desktop and for the tablets. It might have some extra features, but with the version of ext 6.5, the modern toolkit should be almost have almost the same features as the classic one. The modern toolkit is better when you want to aim also for the mobile devices. So you have the one toolkit, and you can aim for the mobile devices, tablets, and also desktop. With classic toolkit, you can display the application also on mobile, but the components and the UI of the application is not modified or user-friendly on mobile devices. So let's select 6.5 modern and create blank project. Okay, first thing I want to start with is the data, because the data is the most important in our application. So what I will start is a model. So I could create a model like this, and I could start creating a field. So I would create one field and another. But Sencha Architect have some cool features to really speed up this process for you. So let me delete my model, and I will go to the data UI builder. And in here, there's an option to load the data fields from the JSON web service or JSON object. So let's select the JSON web service, and I will select my backend, the pliers. I will put my URL. I will click on import fields. And as you can see, all the fields are already imported, and it automatically selected the type of the fields. So you can see that the things which are wins are as an integer, rating is float, name is a string. Also, this data builder can build you some form view and things like that, but I don't want that, so I will just delete it, uncheck it. I want only stores to be created. Also, if you go to advanced, there are some advanced things if you want to do with that, but let's just generate. Like, let's look at my model. Yeah, this looks pretty nice. And my model, I will name it player data. Okay, nice. Let's create a store for my store, which actually holds the data. So I will just select. So I will select my JSON store because my data are loaded from the JSON. You could create a simple store and just add the radius you need there, but we can simply select the JSON store and it will automatically add the JSON radius for you. Okay, so my store will be named player data, and I definitely need define the model of the store, and I need URL which is in the Ajax proxy, and the URL will be the pliers. Select the data. What is? Yeah, we have some warning here, but it's okay. So our model is set and the URL is set. I think we should be able to load our data. Let's try it. Click on load, preview the data, and yeah, the data are loaded. So our store currently have this data. I think it's a time to save our application. I should have done it at the beginning. So my project will be named ExtJS Elo app demo. You can see that my CMD is initializing, which means that it's creating the ext project for you. Okay, let's leave that work and we can continue in here. So our store is loaded. It can load data. Okay, I think we could start creating a grid for the players, but first I want to do something more with our model. You might notice that we have bins as a white player and bins as a black player. But we don't have total wins for the player. You know, it's not necessary to have this in the backend when you can simply calculate it from the wins from white and wins from black. So let me just add a new integer field in here. Let's put it, for example, here. It will be named wins, and I will actually calculate this field. So what I will search for is the calculate option on this data field. Click on add, and you have a new function here. So what I want, the data are the fields. So if I write data dot wins white, it will give me the wins as a this data field, wins white and wins black. So data wins white plus data wins black, and I will return this. Yeah. Perfect. And I also want losses, not only wins. So let's add a losses. Let's name it losses. And yeah, again, calculate. And I want to return data losses white plus data loses as a black player. Okay, perfect. And also we have draws. So let's add another field, draws, calculate. I double click, I can also go here, then data draw white plus draw black. Okay, perfect. I think that our model is ready. Okay, let's proceed to the grid. Let's find a grid, add it to the views, and I want this grid to be named. I want to use namespace. Namespaces are pretty important to keep your application in order, your views, because you are going to have multiple views, and if you don't use namespaces, it can get really messy. So it will be named, I want grid, and it will be player grid, for example. Okay, I can switch to desktop, so I've expanded it. So yeah, it's a grid. And right now I could start creating the columns and columns for the grid. But Sencha Architect have another cool feature. It's called Grid Builder. So I will right click the grid builder. I will select existing module, select the player data, and it automatically detects all the columns I need. It also correctly the type of the columns. I will only check that I want to remove the existing columns, and I click on generate. And yeah, it created some mock data for us. So let me delete this store and disable the binding and select the correct store I want. Refresh. Okay, and as you can see, the players are loaded. We can see that the grid is fully loaded, and the grid builder automatically created the columns for us. There is some formatting automatically applied. So yeah, it looks pretty nice. As you can see, the rating has as you can see, the rating has some decimals which I don't want to be shown, so let's change it. Let's pick up the rating. Let's find format, and let's add one ticket. Yeah, that should be it. The decimals are deleted now. Yeah, and yeah, actually, let's preview the application. You can see that the grid is marked as our initial view. So let's click on Preview App, and we should see our grid. And actually, I don't see anything. Drawback is not defined. Model player data. Yeah, let's take a look what's wrong there. Yeah, you can see I forgot to add the data drawback. Save. You can see that the Sencha CMD is automatically rebuilding. It's done. So when I click refresh, the grid should be loaded. Yeah, and I don't see any data. That's because this is modern and our grid has some incorrect. You have to pay attention to the layouts. So let's check out my grid, and because I have my layout 100% and the grid is not in model really nice with okay with it, let's set up some width for now. We could put the grid into some container and then it would be okay, but for now let's set up something. Actually I need height, not width. Height 900. Wait, I can use some tricks here. Okay, save. And it's still not showing. What's wrong there? Okay, so I was wondering why my grid doesn't have any data in the browser, and that's because I forget to set up one very important thing. The store doesn't load the data automatically. You can see that I always click the load data, and you would need to do the same in the application, but luckily the store has a config called autoload, which will load the data on the store creation. So when autoload is set and I will refresh the application, it is loaded. Yeah. So as you can see, it was quite fast. In less than 10 minutes, we have a grid with all the columns. We could now play with some columns, with some formats, with the height. For example, I don't need to show the UID to the users, so let's hide it. Let's hide the UID. It should be hidden. Yeah, hidden config. So UID is hidden, and it's hidden. I could delete it. The UID I could delete it, but it's better hidden because what I can now do is I can click on the columns and I can show the UID back, which is pretty nice. Okay, I think that's it for today's video. I think it's long enough, and we will pick up in another video with the other grids. So yeah, look forward to the episode number 2. And if you have any questions or anything, leave comments down below. I will try to answer most of them.